Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Uriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C. I'm joined by members of my senior team, and we are in Ward 6 to provide an update on the fire at the Arthur Capper Senior Center. I am going to refer to my notes because we have a pretty lengthy update. First and foremost, let me thank everyone in the community who has responded with urgency in great amounts of empathy to all of the residents impacted by this fire. We are sincerely grateful for your support, as well as for the Capitol Hill Community Foundation, which has partnered with the Van Ness Elementary School Parent-Teacher Organization to create the Arthur Capper Seniors Recovery Fund. The fire at Arthur Capper Senior Center has now been fully extinguished, and investigators are currently looking into the cause of the fire and if alarms and sprinklers were properly functioning. Fencing will be installed today around the perimeter of the center to enclose and secure the structure. Then our Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs will conduct the necessary inspections with the building owner and engineers to address the structural stability of the building. Further access to the building will be decided once these inspections are complete. In response to the fire, 12 people were transported from the fire and King Greenleaf Recreation Centers to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A total of 161 households were impacted by the fire. This is a 162-unit building. One unit was vacant. The Department of Human Services has assessed 132 households for support, and we continue to urge all Arthur Capper households to register with DHS by calling this number, 202-698-4293. DHS, our Department of Human Services, is also expanding its case management. Each household will be assigned a case manager to provide all 161 households with experienced DHS professionals who will ensure that our seniors have all of their needs met during this difficult time. We are no longer using King Greenleaf as an emergency shelter. All residents who have required temporary housing have been placed in appropriate accommodations. Of the 161 households that were impacted, 114 have requested assistance securing temporary housing. As of this morning, of those 114 in need of assistance, 102 are in motel rooms and 12 are in nursing facilities or will be after being discharged from the hospital. We know that there are some residents who are in motels now that may be better served by assisted living or a nursing facility, and we are working to find those units and make placements just as soon as possible. Additionally, our Office on Aging is delivering all Arthur Capper residents both lunch and dinner each day. In the meantime, to ensure continuity of home health services, our Department of Healthcare Finance has generated a report that identifies each beneficiary who lived at the facility and any home health agencies that were providing services there. We have sent an alert to all home care agencies to activate their required emergency response plan that ensures each beneficiary continues to receive the appropriate care at their temporary home. We are engaged with the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services to work with us in ensuring the continuity of services for Medicare beneficiaries as well. We are also making sure residents have all of their pharmacy and medical equipment needs met. We have assessed urgent prescription and medical equipment needs, provided these items to beneficiaries, and have lifted any restrictions or limitations on preventing access to replacement medication. medication. We continue to assess and identify needed replacement medications, equipment, vision, and dental supplies. Finally, we are making sure residents have continued mental health support. The Red Cross is providing crisis mental health care support, and our Department of Behavioral Health is ensuring residents have access to current and ongoing medical services. So we are happy to answer questions related to our response. Sam.
A number of the people are concerned, I guess, about the stuff in the building. Will they ever get back in there to get their stuff out, their cars out? I understand some cats or various animals may still be in there.
We are assessing that. As I mentioned, the building owner has procured an engineer, structural engineer, who is going to be doing an assessment of the building. Our DCRA inspectors, in concert with the building engineer, will make a determination on its safety. Over the weekend, you're going to see some work to help stabilize the structure, which may make it safer for our government personnel, our inspectors, our fire department to re-enter the building. We do not know at this point if individual units will be accessible. I know for sure, not over the weekend, we may have some word about what parts of the building may be assessed, and it may be possible that we won't be able to get back in there. For individuals, it may be possible. We don't know yet.
Looking at
no,
it, or is it still not?
It is not. And so we expect that, again, the building engineer will start his work tomorrow. We expect to see some perimeter work to stabilize the outside of the building. We may also see some closures to roads so that people are not near the building when that outside work is being done.
Have there been more structural collapses? I know the roof obviously caved in. Has there been continuous, I guess, deterioration?
I really can't comment on the condition of the inside of the building. Yes.
Have engineers been inside the building yet to determine its stability?
I'm going to ask the fire chief and the building owner to say for sure after the fire has been extinguished who we know has been in the building. Chief Dean.
The building engineer and the has had an opportunity to do an observation. I can't say if they've actually been inside the building. Yesterday we were understanding that it was the floors to the apartments that were unstable. The hallways were intact. So that's where we are right now.
Has there been a disagreement with inspectors as to whether or not this may be a total loss?
No.
Not yet.
There has been no assessment.
Let me also ask this, Chief, or Mayor,
Yes.
whoever wants to take it. We know that when the initial dispatch was put out, it was put out as a local fire with smoke on the 4th floor. There was not a full box alarm sent. When you always tell us that minutes count, that box alarm wasn't filled until 2 minutes later. So you didn't have a full complement of equipment coming to a senior center. OUC should have known it was a senior center based on the address. Do you know why there was that 2-minute delay?
So there was not a 2-minute delay. What happens is the call comes in. We have the OUC and also have uniformed members down there. Based on the information that the caller gives, they make a decision on what the right resource is. So there were resources coming. There were resources on site. Once they got additional information, they updated that and sent additional resources.
So you wouldn't have put out a box alarm after you knew that the senior center had smoke on the 4th floor? You wouldn't have put that out immediately?
So I have not listened to the tape. All I know is that at the time that the alarm came in, the people on duty made a decision as to what resources they thought were appropriate based on the information they had.
This was your liaison down at OUC?
That would be yes.
Are you supporting that decision now?
I support that decision. They're there to make decisions, and based on the information they had, we're going to listen to the tape. If we learn things, we may change things. But right now, that's what we're asking them to do, not just automatically send all these resources, but to send resources based on the information they received from the caller. I don't have that information. I do know that we inspected the building a year ago, that there were not what we call outstanding issues. Again, we're learning about the fire alarm system itself, and so we're now going back to figure out what's going on with the fire alarm system between ourselves and the building officials. We'll make some determination on that.
Go off on top. Can you tell us anything about the fatal accident at DuPont Circle this morning?
I cannot.
Chief.
So we don't have a lot of information yet. All we know is it was an adult male that was on a Lime scooter. It's one of the, I guess for lack of a better description, it's described as the Razor scooter, the stand-on scooter. We had a number of witnesses on the scene that gave us different accounts of the situation. I can tell you it happened in the southwest portion of the circle. So as soon as we have some idea, we have some video up there that we're combing through right now. As soon as we have some idea of what the cause of the crash was, we'll let you know. I can tell you the driver that was involved, the driver of the vehicle that struck the scooter, has remained on the scene, has been cooperative with our police investigation.
As well to the Logan Circle incident, seeing reports that racial motivations possibly being looked at as a cause. Can you speak to that?
We have not developed a motive in that case, so I don't know where you heard that. Yeah.
Thanks, Sam. Last question.
So, one of the things that did come up, I talked to some of the residents. They're concerned that with DC being so expensive that they'll be able to stay here. I know it's early, but is that something that you've thought about?
No, absolutely. I just convened a meeting with all of the agencies that have a role to play. I asked the property owner what steps they are taking at this point, and it's very early, as you note, and so I think that they plan to have the original construction architect and engineer team in to look at the building and see as much as they can see so that they can start developing plans for rebuilding the building. They don't know the extent of the damage at this time, but I heard loud and clear that the intent was to rebuild the building.
Finally, for me at least, can we hear a little bit about this fund? Is it?
I don't know a lot about the fund. I know it is a community-driven process. Does our council member know?
I live in Ward 6.
Okay.
Does he know?
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. First off, I want to say I appreciate the mayor and her team have helped get the word out about this fund. The Capitol Hill Community Foundation is a locally run organization. Has no overhead or administrative. 100% of the profits or the contributions go directly back to the recipients. It's an organization that also, when Eastern Market unfortunately experienced its fire, when Fragers experienced its fire, stepped in a way to help do that. And so it's a way that folks can make a contribution and know that 100% of that contribution is going to be going back out to the residents. And the good news is there's also a lot of other, donation efforts that are out there. And so there's a lot of folks that are really they want to help. These are our neighbors, and so they want to give. They want to know how they help, both for the short-term immediate needs as well as for the long-term stability and bringing those folks back and restoring what they've obviously lost behind us.
To that.
They can contribute by going to the Capitol Hill Community Foundation's website. I'm sure we can get that to everybody, so you can have that at the bottom of your screen. And we encourage people to do that. I mean, even the Nationals had it on their board last night trying to encourage folks. So it's really been very heartwarming that so many people have come around to try to help make sure that every effort can be made to help our neighbors in their time of need.
What is done with the money?
It'll be contributions that go directly to each one of those residents. Yeah.
Is it fair to say you're not going to be able to even start to look until it's safe for them to get in there?
That's fair to say. And last thing, Sam, I should have been more fulsome in my answer to you because our residents, the majority who have been displaced, are using motels. That's temporary. And our goal is to find and have for them long-term affordable options in the district. And they will become eligible for a housing choice voucher or for location in a public housing unit in another public housing community in the district. The residents are all subsidized through public housing. It is, however, privately owned and managed. Thank you, everybody.